Alright guys, so welcome back to Farming Simulator. So I think it's good time to continue, right? Anyway, we are now in February and I pretty much bought what I could buy, like all the places I think you should own. This one was just trying to see, but this is a cow pasture and I have a lot of meadow over here. I don't know if I will use it and how we are supposed to use it, like just transport the cows there or what? There's some yes somehow. Well, anyway, this place for some reason was extremely pricey. 1 million. I don't know why. And you still have to buy the sawmill. One thing that I got the factory wide was the biogas plants. Did a small version. But yeah. That's that. And of course few solar panels as well. You should be getting this amount of money during the sunny months. So yeah. I have to plow all my fields. All of them needs plowing. So yeah. I want to skip in February. 3 hours for it to stop snowing, but look at this. Let me show you. Pretty much all day. And during midnight the snow will turn to rain. So yeah. There is no point. You can just plow in snow or just go to march. The next crop is already decided. No, if I told you, probably not. It will be oats. Yeah, oat. It makes sense, right? Oh, this is not uphill. What are we struggling to? Because it is not really because of the paint. This is good. But then again, yeah. I feel the more horsepower would help. I guess something really peaceful. Like blowing when it's snowing and the lime on the ground will snow as well, so yeah. Something really peaceful on it. There we go. And yeah, the class vehicles overall really eat fuel. Yeah. There is one thing they all have in common. They use a lot of fuel. Like a lot. Like really a lot. Yeah, today we'll have over here again one really tropical day. So I will only record in the mornings when it's nice and cold. Or cold. It's not really cold. It's like probably 17, maybe even 18 already right now, but still it's fine. During the day it will be 35, so yeah, it's a big difference. But fortunately it's not the like wet hotness, you know, high humidity. It's pretty dry, so it isn't that horrible. You're not sweating all the time, even though it's pretty hot. But still, yeah, the sun is really strong. I mean, it is still summer, but you can see outside the days are getting shorter and shorter every day. Usually you don't see it that much in July, but in August you notice it. Both in the morning and in the evening. Both feel like they are 1 hour shorter than they actually are. I just feel like that. Yeah, over here in the pretty much during a longer day, sunrise is around 4:45 a.m. Maybe a bit earlier, and goes down around like 8:40 p.m. maybe. Nowadays it goes down probably even somewhere around 8 p.m. and sun rises up a little bit before 6 a.m. already, so yeah, about an hour. But it is more noticeable in the mornings. That's for sure. Oh yeah, yesterday was also full moon. And I surprisingly slept really well. People say when it's full moon, people don't really sleep that well. Especially my parents. Apparently I do. I have no issue with it. And then again, moon tends to go from east to west, same as with the sun. And they have their room on the west side, and I have my room on the east side, so that might be it. There is no moonlight coming into my room. But now I have sunlight. Over here. Come on, tree. Your whole job is to cover me. And sun is just shining on my head. Yeah, after this video I will have to close the blinds on my window. And my window overall. Just let it be open. On the top side, yeah, the European windows, right? There are several ways to open them. I usually have it always on the small top side. That one is always open, no matter what, now it's really cold outside, of course. Birds are really singing. Yeah, soon the first birds will start to leave and go down in the south to the tropical countries. September is the time when even more birds leave. The typical birds that leave around the start of the school in September are the swallows. Yeah. Actually got quite a few of them over here. All families. They had a lot of young ones. And it's really nice to see them chirping and flying around all the time. And they catch a lot of flies and other insects, so it's really good to have them around. Yeah, I know what was up with the flies this year. They were really annoying, especially like the, you have like a regular fly, and then you have big fly. It's like meat. We call it mesiarka over here because of, yeah, it always goes on meat. And then you have a horsefly, which is basically a huge fly. And you have like various of these small flies, which are usually like half or even smaller than half from or smaller than the regular fly. So these ones have been really annoying. Like when I was working in the garden and I was starting like sweaty, they wouldn't just leave me freaking alone. And I was so annoyed by them. Yeah, if there is something that really annoys me, if there is something flying around my face and it just won't go away. I became really nervous, annoyed and whatnot. And of course, After flailing my arms trying to get it. Of course, it's something like wool, but I try to be calm or just go away. Because I know the wasp will stung me. If it's like something like bee or bumblebee, I'm just let them be and they'll fly off. But usually it's something annoying like fly or mosquito that would annoy you. And we could list new mosquitoes that came like a few years ago, and yeah, these are really annoying, and I heard they can spread a lot of diseases that are not common here, but are common in like Africa and not. Yeah, thank you global warming for that. I know why, but the freaking Europe is the one continent that is the most hit by the global warming. I mean, there are countries where it's really hot, but there is always hot there, right? Of course, there are some of them where it's even hotter than it used to be. And pretty much whole Europe, yeah, we are getting like really hot temperatures. I mean, if it was over freaking 30 in the Nordics, right? That's crazy this summer. And now we are pretty much gonna get the biggest heat wave. Tomorrow it's supposed to be cool, start to cool down for like 3 days, but from the Wednesday and especially Thursday onwards, the big heat wave should come. Pretty much the biggest one this year, because you already have some days when it was over 30, but nothing like previous year when it was literally like 2-3 weeks over 30 every day. This year it wasn't even 1 week, at least over here. And July was surprisingly cold, and we actually have a really decent amount of rain for July. So yeah, it's kinda crazy. I don't remember such cold and rainy July in ages. July is usually super dry and hot, but then again, if it was dry and hot, it would be crazy, because both winter and spring were quite dry, and we pretty much during the harvest there was literally every day there was some sort of fire in the fields. Heck, over here the fire became so big that it started to spread to forests. They literally needed 9 fire trucks to get it under control. 9 freaking fire trucks. That was crazy. Yeah, literally were like fire trucks from almost whole freaking county over here. But it's really good that we have so many like firefighters slash like volunteer firefighters as well in every village over here. Our village have 1 truck, the neighboring village have like 2 trucks, you know. But of course, a nearby town and nearby city help as well a lot. So it's good. They can get fire under control really fast. With a lot of machinery over here. Yeah, even though this village, we get a lot of things over here. Basically, the best part about this village, I will say, is the public transportation. We have really good buses, pretty much both to the town and the city that are nearby. City is on the west side, or if you go west, and the town on the east, or if you go east, right? We have a bus at least every hour to both of them. For example, like during rush hours between like 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. We literally have 8 buses total from the cities to my village. Pretty much 4 each hour, which is really great. Yeah. Of course, my son, like, haha, in the city we have like 1 every 5 or 10 minutes, right? It's freaking city, you know. Even small cities over here have like, well, some have like every 30 minutes some sort of bus. But of course, there is like buses in every freaking direction in the city. So yeah, the public transport is quite covered, but it's pretty much true for like majority of Europe, I believe. But Europe is small and old. Of course, compared like sizes, Europe is pretty much similar size to US, right? But the US states are not, well, not the like northeastern ones. These are like small, like European countries, but especially the one in like Midwest and West and whatnot are really huge. They have ridiculous sizes compared to like most European countries. Besides the biggest one, of course, Russia is Russia. It's its own separate thing because Russia is the biggest country in the world. But big European countries that are not basically Russia. Like you got Spain, Germany, France, Poland. These are the biggest ones. Ukraine. Yeah, those are probably the biggest ones, right? On landmass. Then Italy and UK will be next. And the rest is pretty much quite small. My country is quite small, but we are nowhere close the small ones. They're even microstates as well. And there are small countries or similar sized countries that have similar size of people or a lot more people. I think Belgium is similar size or smaller and they have like twice the population or something. Or is it, or am I confused with the Netherlands? But a country that have actually a really similar size and a really similar population compared to mine is Denmark. Yeah, literally the size and the population is so similar. For example, Finland. Oh yeah, the Nordic countries are also quite big. Sweden, Finland, and Norway. And the Finland have the similar population as well to my country. A little bit over 5 million, I believe. As well, and they are much bigger than my country, like several times bigger. I think they are still the country that have the most forests, right? Like maybe 70% forest or whatever. My country is pretty high. Definitely we are in top 10 or maybe in top 5. I don't know, but we have like 40 or 50% of forests. It doesn't sound like much, but compared to some other countries like the UK or Ireland, they basically have no. Compared to the rest of the world, they're really low numbers. In UK, they use most of the wood to build ships. So they had colonial empire, but everybody knows about that, right? Deforestation was huge there. Also, they don't have really like big predators. They got rid of them all, obviously. Yeah, the biggest predator in the UK, I think, is fox and badger. I think badger, right? Is the name, English name of that creature. Of course, in my country we got brown bears, we got wolf, we got lynxes. Yeah, lynx is really cute. It's a big kitty. And yeah, the lynxes are really shy. There's basically no way to see one in the wild. You definitely. Also the wolves, yeah. Seeing one in the wild would be really rare. But bears, not really. Bears are starting to become extremely common. And for such small country as mine, there is definitely more than 2000 bears here, which is crazy. But the Carpathians have probably the most bears in Europe overall. I think the Romania have the most. And then we, probably. But the Carpathians, yeah, Carpathians have a lot of bears. Compared to the rest of the continent. The forest range over here is connected to all the major forests in the central and eastern part of my country. Forests and mountains, I should say. But they never had like a really any bears. Sometimes there was some sort of struggling bear, which was either removed or they got rid of it, right? But recently there have been a lot of bear sightings and they're warning people because the bears are really overpopulated. And that was also the big political topic in the recent years, what we should do with the bears, you know. But I think they said they could like get rid of around 100 of them or something like that. A lot of our bears are starting to cross to the neighboring countries, especially Czech Republic. They're also probably Hungary or Poland as well. But we also get some visitors from like Poland. And of course, like, I don't mean just people, or I don't mean people at all, but I mean animals. Mooses, yeah, the mooses tend to come from time to time from Poland to my country. And of course the European bisons. Actually, I'm pretty lucky because these are really rare animals in Europe. And yeah, there is like small reservation around here and I was able to see them. Probably if I wasn't living around here I wouldn't see them. But yeah, the reservation is quite close, but it's literally in the forest, so you either need to know where it is or just go by car. That is simple. So yeah, and here I was talking about random stuff and yeah, we finished the field. Yeah, it took me around half an hour to finish the 2 hectares. That field over there was 10 hectares, so it would be around 2 hours and 30 minutes to finish this field. Which is crazy. Of course, might be less because I'm doing a lot of unnecessary movements, I say, and whatnot. But anyway, I'll be back. Okay.